TP, what it do with your boy Clay? More rain back at you guys with another one. Man, salute to all my subscribers, all my new subscribers as well. Channel is moving pretty well right now. You know what I mean? I'm definitely happy about that. And salute to you guys. Salute to the subscribers who are finding some useful content coming out of off this platform. Listen, man, if this is your first time tapping into the content, go ahead and take an opportunity. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit your bell icon as well, so you are getting alerts when this content is dropping. Look, man, the presser is in. A lot to kind of break down, right? Let's take our time with this one, though, guys, because we're heading into an event right now, a match between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. And listen, I haven't hidden the way I see this match. This is definitely the fight nobody asked for, but as I said, the fight we have. And going into it, you can't help but feel the lack of enthusiasm in the air from the space into this fight. I mean, Gervonta Tank Davis comes in as a 25-1 favorite in this fight. I believe Lamont Roach is sitting something as a 16 or plus 1600 underdog or 1,000 plus. I'm not too sure, but ultimately, according to the odds and everything in Vegas and obviously the consensus across the space as far as the fan base is considered, this fight's really not a fight nobody asked for, and the people aren't really very excited about it. People aren't really giving Lamont Roach that much of a chance in this fight. And things have built up going into this fight that's kind of like taking away a little bit from the luster of the fight as well. Tank Davis expressing interest of retiring, and even rumors being spread throughout the boxing space about his relationship with Calvin Ford and what that was going to look like as far as training was concerned in preparation for this fight. Videos circulating of Tank Davis and Barry Hunter training together, and you don't see Calvin really, like, every now and then. I think towards the end of the training camp, you started seeing Calvin kind of popping up at the gym, but definitely spectating, right? Definitely not training Tank. And you would say for the biggest show, the biggest fight of Tank's career, and just honoring what Tank's perspective is on the competitive nature of this fight, saying that the reason for the most part that we're not interested in the fight as far as the fan base is concerned is because we don't know Lamont Roach, right? We just aren't familiar with him. He hasn't done that much in the space on the biggest platforms for us to see his talent. Although Tank is bringing him up from 130 pounds, saying that this is probably going to be his biggest challenge today. And of course, Lamont Roach following suit, reminding everybody that they shared some history together and that they know each other, and that's going to make a difference in this fight. And I'm more than eager to see this come together. As I stated in my other video, it's going to be interesting to see Lamont Roach show us something we've never seen from him before, or at least maybe show a side of Tank, or force Tank to show us a side of him that we've never seen before, as Calvin Ford has on countless times spoke about how much he wanted to be able to see Tank do that for us as fans. But what's happened today, Barry Hunter shows up, obviously, and who's sitting on the table at the press conference but Calvin Ford, right? So Calvin Ford's up there, and they're saying basically that they've been working together the whole entire time, and in all actuality, this is an actual team effort being put forward to prepare Tank for this next chapter in his career. I think that's interesting, right? Because why come together and put a team effort behind somebody who's talking about retiring? One would say that maybe Tank is not necessarily heading in that direction of retirement as soon as we think he is, and maybe there are some things in play here and in motion, and it's doing that thing that Calvin said, right? It's causing Tank to go into his tool bag, right, into his arsenal, and he's using every resource he has, including bringing together a dream team of trainers in Barry Hunter, Kenny Ellis, and Calvin Ford to prepare him maybe for the biggest fights of his life. Now, for a boxing fan's point of view, that's got to be something inspiring. That's got to be something that gets you out of your seat a little bit. Maybe even put some perspective on what this fight here is between him and Lamont Roach. Maybe this fight is simply a real good tune-up for what's to come, a preparation for the real difficult fights that are going to come ahead, as far as maybe a Shakur Stevenson, maybe a Keyshawn Davis, maybe Gervonta Tank Davis goes up a weight class. I know it sounds crazy, but who knows? maybe him and the winner of Rayo and Gary Antoine Russell might be fighting for a WBA 140-pound championship belt as well. Maybe Tank might be thinking about cutting weight, right? Maybe he's cutting weight and planning on going down to maybe a catch weight of 127, 128 to go ahead and fight a monster Inoue, as Barry Hunter's expressed interest in trying to put a fight like that together. But it does open up sort of a third eye, raises more interest, makes this fight just a little bit more intriguing, seeing that they've put this much effort and gathered this much resources to get behind Tank Davis against Lamont Roach, a fight that a lot of people just haven't been able to really wrap their minds around why it's happening right now. Being that Lamont Roach was a 130-pound champion, just is what it is. I mean, Tank isn't so much bigger than Lamont Roach, but definitely been competing at a different weight class. And when you think of what Tank had in front of him as far as the options he had in the fighters in his own division that were there, it just seems like he kind of went out his way not to fight those guys. But listen, it's chess, not checkers. You know, even Tank is not above a tune-up. Tank is not above preparation. Tank is not above taking the proper steps to get himself together by recognizing the talent that would be in front of him with a Shakur Stevenson or maybe a Keyshawn Davis to prepare accordingly for what's in front of him. Maybe he's not drinking his own Kool-Aid as much as people might think he's doing. And maybe what he in real time is doing is getting himself ready for a real big show. Now, this press conference and build up to this fight, lackluster is an understatement. Questions of the PBC's budget, question of the PBC's commitment to promoting and marketing Tank Davis at the highest level. Like, let's say Canelo Alvarez, being that the name face of boxing has been loosely thrown around when it comes to Tank Davis's name. So there's other questions and other boxes that need to be checked as well. Because if these bigger fights are going to get put together, they're going to require big budgets, right? And you got to ask yourself if the PBC, TGB, Amazon Prime, whichever entity or group of entities working together aren't able to come together and actually provide Tank Davis for, I think, what his fans and it seems like Tank and his team feel like he deserves as far as resources, as far as promotion, marketing. Those things should be at the highest level for your face of boxing, and it doesn't look like that's what it's been. And it looks like Tank Davis may have been holding issue with the way he's been treated. Either way, we're heading into it. We're about 48 hours out, guys. It's going to be Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach on Saturday evening. Honestly, from my perspective, all eyes on Lamont Roach. But look, man, for whatever it's worth, for anybody who cares to know, who has any questions about what's happening, it looks like Calvin Ford is back in the corner, co-training with Barry Hunter. We're going to be there as a dream team to train Tank Davis and get him ready for the biggest show. Tank Davis looking like maybe somewhat of a genius. Maybe it is when a great plan comes together. Maybe the joke is really on us. But look, man, we're just here to report it as we see it, as things change, as things develop. We try to keep up with it, stay in front of it as much as we can so we don't get left in the dust. But hindsight is always the best storyteller. The most accurate storyteller is always hindsight, as it is 2020. So let's see what happens Saturday. We'll be tapped in. Let's see how this fight goes between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. Of course, we'll be there for the undercard. The co-main event seems like it's going to be potentially the fight that steals the show between El Rayo and Gary Antoine Russell. We'll be all tapped in. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment of the family reunion. Somewhat of a family reunion, right? As Coach Calvin Ford is back in the building. And not just to spectate, it seems, but maybe to co-train with Barry Hunter to get Tank Davis through this fight with Lamont Roach. It's your boy Rain. It's the ATP Combat Media Show. Hey guys, once again, shout out to all my subscribers. If this is your first time tapping into the content, as always, I will invite you, take a moment to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit your like button as well, guys, but more importantly, hit that bell icon as well so you are getting alerts when all this content is dropping. It's your boy Rain. It's ATP Combat Media Show. And until the next one, at this point, we out.